see dead people. Monster on the beat, Debo, rap. He a free throw, man down, all like Amber Lambs. Tell him breathe, bro. Nella to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabronis? Trying to see Compton. They in the street can hate me. For Marlon, they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body. I'm John Stockton. Beat your and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some on him. Pull on him, extort, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified. Wop, 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 that come up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. They not like us. 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 You think the Bay gon' let you disrespect Pop? I think that Oakland show will be your last stop. They cold foul. I don't know why you still pretending. What is the owl? Birds and bird go. The audience not dumb. Shape the stories how you want. Hey Drake, they're not slow. Rabbit still deep. I can go further. I promise. Ain't that something? P-Rest that's for you. Malibu most wanted. Ain't no love boy. You ball boy. Fish Gatorade or something. Since 2009, I had this jumping. You need to get a wedgie. Be flipped over your boxes. Over your foe. The other vaginal option. Better straighten they posture. Got favors all up in contact. Might write this with a document. Tell a pop star quit hiding. A caption won't action. No accident. I'm hands on. He around get polished. Don't rain grow like he was in jail. That's conniving. Then get his face tatted like a apologizing. I'm glad D-Rose came home. Y'all didn't deserve him neither. From Alondra down to Central. The better not speak on Serena. And your homeboy needs subpoena. That predator moving flocks. That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I lean on you like a line of walk. Yeah, it's all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the park. Ay, put the road label on me, I'ma get them dropped. Ay, sweet chin music and I won't pass the ox. Ay, how many stocks do I really have in stock? Ay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Ay, devil is a lie, here 69 God. Ay, freaky need to stay inside. Ay, roll it up like a fresh pack of Zod. Ay, city is back up, it's a must, we outside. Ay.
What is the deal? What's happening with my Raider family? Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what day it is. It's another live episode of the Raider Rundown show. Back again here on Wednesdays like we are. We live at 5 every Wednesdays. And today, we going to be discussing the Raiders' new signings, new moves that's going on, right? And some rumors about what went down as far as the Raiders' 13th overall pick. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get the intro started. Let's get the show cracking. What's the deal, everybody, man? Glad y'all can make it for another episode of the Raider Rundown, man. Make sure you guys are tapping, first and foremost, on that thumbs up. Helps the guy. Much appreciated for everybody that does. Tap on that thumbs up button. Also, hit the subscribe button if you're really feeling what you're hearing, right? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you stay tuned, man. You might like what you got going on. If so, share it out to everybody that you know. So you already know what time it is, man. It's another Wednesday episode, another Wednesday where we got to talk about what the Raiders have been doing, right? It's still that off-season shit, still kind of quiet, But without further ado, man, you know how we got to start every Raider Rundown episode. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the first and foremost. You know, we got to start off with the roll call, man. You know, everybody always shows up, always appreciative, right, of people that show up for the live show, man. So I always got to shout out the fam. First and foremost, my guy, Danny C with a big Raiders. What's the deal, my guy? Glad you can make it in the building today. I'm glad you can come chill with your guy. You can get Raider news from anybody, but you're here getting it with your boy today, man. So I'm glad you can make it. My guy, Gunsmoke, in the building. What's the deal, Gunsmoke? Glad you can make it. Right, always glad to see the fam. Raider Paul, how you feeling, man? Glad you can make it as well, man. And of course, we got to get to this comment right here. Danny C says Drake never stood a chance. Take your ass back to Disney. Hey, look here, man. We already know, man. We from the West Coast, so at the end of the day, you know it was Kendrick all day. But being fair, objective, bro, we already know Drake ain't win that battle. So regardless of it, right, we'll get into that. But we all know Drake ain't win that. But regardless, we got to start off with the first topic and really get into some of that Raider news, and we're gonna get into that first thing, which is we gotta get into the Raider Reese's, man. What's been going on in the nation? So without further ado, we're gonna start off with the new signings, right? So who have the Raiders signed? So you know how we do it here on the rundown. You know we got to give you the rundown on whatever the Raiders do. So we're going to give you the rundown today on Andrews Pete. We're going to give you the rundown on Jalen Guyton, right? Because these are the guys that the Raiders have signed. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and start with the receiver that the Raiders added to the room, which is none other than Jalen Guyton, right? Kind of one-year deal, veteran thing, right? He comes in. Not a lot of playing time, all right? Not a lot of playing time that you see from Jalen Guyton in the past couple years. I think he's only played like 11 games in 2 years, something like that. So really looking at it, his last, I guess you want to say, real season was really with the Chargers, I guess. But you look, right, for his career, he only has 1,112 yards, right? 7 touchdowns on his career. So not a lot, has went on as far as Jalen Guyton and what he's done as far as the past couple of years. You look, he was with the Chargers in 2023, but played 10 games, right? Or played 8 games last year, only had 10 receptions, only had 21 targets, only had 89 yards, right? So that's where you're looking at Jalen Guyton. That's last year's production. His most productive season was his second season, right? And that was 2020, okay? So he got drafted in 2019. 2020 was his most productive season. If y'all remember, that was the season he was with Justin Herbert, right? So that's the season he's with Justin Herbert. That's Justin Herbert's rookie season. Comes in, he was that deep threat, right? That the Chargers used a lot, throughout that season. So every time you saw him throughout that year, he was getting some deep target from Justin Herbert, right? So he ended that year with 511 yards, on 55 targets, had 28 receptions, right? He played all 16 games that year, had 3 touchdowns as well, averaged 18 yards per reception that year. So ever since then, it's went down. I mean, 2021 went down in production, 448 yards, right? Same touchdown production total, but ever since then, dipped off from there. 2022, 2023, not a lot of production, right? When you look at Jalen Guyton and what he's done as far as, after that year. So what are you getting from him? What do I expect? I think this dude already, you signed him, he's already on the bubble, right? Already on that roster bubble. I'm not going to be super confident to say that this guy right here is going to be a guy that's going to be a staple on the team, a guy that's going to see rotational minutes. You know what I mean? You sign Michael Gallup, right? So you look at the receiving core now. I mean, it's crowded. So the thing that helps Jalen Guyton making the roster, I would say right now, would be him and his speed, right? The speed is what really, really is going to probably help him make the roster, help him make certain things easier for himself, right? Because as far as speed, y'all already know what I be saying every time I talk about this offense, right? This offense is lacking speed. So at the end of the day, bro, that's where we need to get better at. Jalen Guyton is that guy, right? So he's going to be able to take the top off of the defense, same as Trey Tucker. So that's going to be, something that helps in his favor, helps his case. But at the end of the day, still going to be a tough battle between him, because now you look, I see him battling with Wilkerson now, right? Him and Wilkerson are going to battle for a spot. Who's going to make it? So I think that's probably going to be on the bubble. I have more faith that Michael Gallup makes the team. If everybody's healthy, right? If everybody's healthy, no injuries. If everybody's healthy, I have more faith that Michael Gallup is probably going to make the team other than Jalen Guyton. But at the end of the day, this is a speed guy, and you can kind of use him on special teams as well if you're trying to fill that void and see if he can play special teams minutes with that speed. So once again, right, it's going this just adds to the battle of camp, right? This just adds to what the Raiders are going to be able to do as far as training camp, as far as what they get in the preseason with these battles to mix and match these rotations. All right, who's the better rotation? Who's going to be the better player? A lot of things to watch as far as that this year, right? So once again, Raiders have signed wide receiver Jalen Guyton. What do I think about that? I think that he's a bubble guy, right? I don't think it's not a lot of confidence for me for him to make the roster. But if he does make the roster, it'll probably be because of the speed, be because of the special teams ability. So y'all let me know, man. Y'all let me know down below. How do you feel about the Raiders signing Jalen Guyton, right? Let me know in the comments right here. Let me go ahead and get through it as some of my guys pop in, man. My guys, SoCal Sal in the building. What's the deal, man? We couldn't get the party truly started without some of my guys, man. How you feeling? Glad you here, man. OJ, how you feeling? What's the deal? How you feeling? I see you on Turf's show too. I like that last little grade he gave, man. I like Epps, right? I really like Epps. We're probably going to have to have a little discussion about that, because I see a lot of people like to trash Epps. I don't get it, right? I think the defense significantly changed once Epps came in the building, but that's just me, right? That's just me. But yeah, as far as Jalen Guyton, I don't see a lot of help, right? I mean, a lot of, I want to say, I don't have a lot of confidence in that, right? For him to go ahead and make the squad and be a contributor. But this next guy that we're going to talk about, right? This next guy that we're going to talk about, I think that he has a chance to really, really push into, if not a starter role, at least be in some sort of mix to be in the rotation, right? And that would be Andres Pete, right? I think this guy has a chance, to really make the roster. First and foremost, I think he has a chance to really make the roster. That's number one. Number two, I think that, he'll be able to come in, provide some veteran leadership at that tackle position right there for our guys on the right side, but at the same time has the versatility to play on the left side. That's where he was playing last year, right? So I think, if you look at that, I think this guy right here has a good chance to make the roster. But let's go ahead and look at what he has done now, right? You talk about Pete last year was with the New Orleans Saints. I believe he played, let's see how many games he played last year. He played, well, first of all, you look at just the mass, right? 6'7", 316. That's good shit right there. But, as you're logging it, played with the Saints from 2020. Well, actually, he's played with the Saints his whole career, right? Played with the Saints his whole career from 2015 to literally this last year, right? So this last year was, the year that he played the most games in 16 games, commanded that left side, right? He commanded that left side for the New Orleans Saints. Now, a lot of people will say that offensive line struggled, and deservedly it did, right? But at the same time, we know, I'm not going to say the name, but we know who the quarterback is over there, right? And at the same time, that quarterback over there that plays in New Orleans doesn't make life particularly easy on offensive linemen. So at that point right there, whatever, right? I don't think that you can take it with a grain of salt, right? You look at their rankings, whatever. I don't think that tells the full picture. I don't think that tells the whole story. So with Pete, I think he was very solid, right? 30 years old, right? So not too old, but at the end of the day, I think he was solid. I think he's a guy that, I'm not going to say he's going to be a starter, but I think he's going to be in the rotation on that right side at the very minimum, right? And then you talk about that left side. If he makes the roster, he's a guy that I can see be a swing tackle, right? So that right side got ultra competitive, right? It got ultra fucking competitive. I'm not gonna sit here and slate him as a starter because you already know me. I'm a Thayer Munford guy, right? And if you're new to the channel, right, shout out to you, salute to you first and foremost. But at the end of the day, right, your boy Rundown is a Thayer Munford supporter. So at the end of the day, I think Thayer Munford is gonna be the guy to command that right side. But if you talk about the competition factor within it, now you go from Thayer Munford, boom, then you go to, right, our guy Delmar Glaze that you just draft right now, and then boom, you go straight into Andres Pete. So now these are three guys that I think it's a viable competition now. Whoever comes out of that is going to be a guy that I'm going to be more confident in commanding that side, right? Because, you know, you go through some guys that is pretty good competition. But at the end of the day, you know, preseason is going to tell us everything. It's going to tell us everything. And I still think Thayer Munford can be that guy. I have some belief in that. But time will tell. And when they get on the field, once they touch that grass, we definitely going to see, right, who's going to be able to command that. But once again, right, the Raiders have signed Andres Pete. Y'all let me know down below. How do you feel about the signing? Me personally, I think it's a good signing. I honestly do. It gives us some depth at the very minimum. And at the end of the day, right, gives us somebody that can at least compete for that right side. And if he makes the squad, he's a veteran guy, right? Not gonna be expecting like, oh my God, he's gonna be a top 5 tackle, but you know, somebody that's at least just a veteran that can just hold it down, hold it steady, right? If anything happens as far as the football season, we know how shit goes, right? Injuries happen all the damn time. So boom, that's there, right? So y'all let me know. So as far as Jalen Guy, my guy Danny C says special teams or practice squad. Yeah, not too excited, but it's as far as the speed goes, I like adding the speed. I put it like that. OJ says I agree. Epps was a huge reason to turn around and also played a big part in Morrig making his leap, in my opinion. I full wholeheartedly agree, OJ. I full wholeheartedly agree. We'll get into that a little later, but I don't really understand the Marcus Epps slander. But, you know, we'll continue with that. Virginia, I'm going to have to go ahead and give it to you right here, right?
Boo this man!
You're not a man, you're a woman, but at the end of the day, it still applies, right? We got to boo this shit. This shit was terrible. I don't even know why I put it on screen, but at the end of the day, man, I can't condone this. Can't condone it at all. All right, so my girl, right? My girl, Myra, in the building. What's the deal? How you feeling? I'm glad you can make it. Definitely glad you can make it. Danny C says the sleeper UDFA of all time, Lulu Griffin. That boy gonna make the 53 easy. And that's another thing, right? That's another name I've heard, right? I've heard over this past fucking week, right? Since Sunday, really. I've heard the name Tulu Griffin about like 300 times. Like, I swear to you not. I've heard this man's name about 300 times. And it's no coincidence my man Danny C says something in the comments right there. Like, I mean, and then I go look at it. I look at his film, and I'm like, oh no, this motherfucker's serious. He's serious. Now he's got some shit he's got to work on, of course, right? But I don't think he should have been undrafted. I think the kid should have been drafted, bro. Like, no bullshit. He should have been drafted. But that's another guy, right? The competition in the room is gonna be real fierce, bro. This preseason, this is the first time in a long time, right? And y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time in a long time, like, the preseason comes, like, I'm excited for the fucking, like, the second and third string battles now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, like, we got battles, second string, third string, like, you know, rotational guys. Like, these are battles I'm anxious to fucking see. I like it for first time in a long time. We got like slated starters where I'm like, I'm not worried about that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. I'm looking at the depth now. And that's where, you know, we gonna have to get our popcorn ready on that one, because that shit is gonna be real live, man. I'm telling you. If you here, I appreciate you for being here. If you're new to the channel, man, the content that your boy is gonna be putting out is gonna be wild at that time. So definitely, man, appreciate y'all pulling up, but definitely stay tuned, because I'm gonna be putting out some crazy content come preseason, and when these battles come on, we're gonna be taking a real in-depth look. But let me see as we keep going. SoCal Sal says Pete will compete for a position. I agree. 100% agree. He's going to, right, compete for that right tackle position, I believe. And at the very least, 6-man, that rotational tackle, at the very least. Frankie says, fuck the Chiefs. And just for that, my guy, we got to give you one of these.
God damn it, I like the way you do business.
You do business, my guy. Fuck the Chiefs for sure, man. I don't give a fuck about them. Get that shit out of here, man. Let me see. Don't maybe start singing that Kendrick shit to you now too, man. Virginia, you over here talking about we should have grabbed the quarterback. Regardless of it, your quarterback got to go ahead and get a hold of his brother. Freaky ass killer here. Freaky ass killer. Let me go ahead and stop. Let me stop though. Let me stop. Anyway, my girl Myra says, Happy Wing Wednesday. Factuals. You know what time it is, man. It's Wing Wednesday. And you know what we say here on the rundown, man. Stay away from the boneless. And if you are going to get boneless, right, just call them chicken nuggets. But at the end of the day, man, it's Wing Wednesday. Get yourself some wings, right? 10-piece lemon pepper, right? Slap that on there. Extra crispy. You know how I get down. My guy Rafa says, what's up, nation? What's the deal, Rafa? How you feeling, man? How you feeling? Myra, we got trolls in here, man, but it means we coming up, right? That just means we coming up, and that's all that means. The trolls can't do nothing to us, man. At the end of the day, they help the views, so we appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. My guy OJ says bone in, and that's wild, right? That's what I agreed, but it's still a pause. Agreed, but it's definitely still a pause. So as we continue with the Raider news, right? Make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up. I appreciate everybody that's in the building. That's there for your Raider recents as far as free agent signings, new signings, right? As far as that, I'm pleased with what I've seen so far. The Raiders do add smart, sneaky pieces. Now, next thing that we're gonna have to talk about as far as that is going to have to be what's the next signing. Now, a lot of us pretty much know what the next signing should be, but I'm going to be real with you guys, right? I don't think people are talking about this enough, and I think we need to talk about it a little bit more as we continue. Hold on. I got to type my shit up now, but we have to continue with this, and I think the Raiders have a DB problem, right? And we're going to continue to talk about this as people are coming in the building. We appreciate that, but I think we have a DB problem. The next signing needs to be a DB. Now, if it's not, whatever, I'm not gonna hold feet to the fire. But at the end of the day, I think it needs to be a DB. I think it needs. They know it must be a DB. Regardless, I know people have some sort of confidence in Jacorian Bennett. I do, right? Jacorian, to a degree, he shows some things, but me personally, right, like I'm not gonna hold my breath on it. And the main thing I do say about that at the same time is, as the roster stands right now, he's gonna be that number 2 corner. He's gonna be that second guy, right? And a lot of people are saying, when I ask people, what are you expecting from Jacorian Bennett? A lot of people sit there and tell me, well, I'm just expecting him to be Amik Robertson. Well, if that's the case, that shit ain't good enough for number 2 corner. It's not good enough, right? Like that's the reason they was fine with letting your boy walk. You feel what I'm saying? They felt like they could get better. And at the end of the day, we can. It's 100%. That's no shade, right? But there were things that Meek did that at the end of the day, you can live without, right? You can live without the shit that he did sometimes. So with Jacorian, if people tell me they're expecting a Meek Robertson production, that's not good enough, right? You need more than that shit. He needs to exceed that. So if that's all we're going to get, we have a problem, right? We have a fucking problem on that side. I shit you not. And if we don't sign anything, I'm going to go into the season saying the same shit. We have a problem on that side. Whatever side he plays, that number 2 corner is a fucking problem because I'm not feeling that. You know what I mean? That's just that. Now, that's just me personally. Now, he can prove me wrong and exceed expectations. Now, if that's the case, then shit, let's rock. Let's do it, right? And you know me. I ain't never going to push no agenda on this motherfucker. If somebody proved me wrong, then that's all power to him, right? That's usually a good fucking thing. But if he can't, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem because now there's a side that can be picked on, right? Each and every game, there's a side that's going to be picked on. And now, if he can't work out, now we start going into like the depth of the roster now. Now we start to say, well, shit, we got to play Brandon Faison. Come on, bro. I mean, you know, cool veteran leadership in the building, but be real, bro. We got to play Brandon Faison or whatever the case. Like, that don't strike no fear into my heart if I was an opposing team. Okay, you call a spade a spade. All right. Now you go from that. Now you got 2 rookies you just fucking drafted in Richardson, DeMarcarian Richardson, right? And then you talk about MJ Devonshire. So these is 2 dudes you just drafted. Rookies, 4th round, 7th round, right? It's like, do we really want to fuck around and rely on that? And this is why I'm saying we have a DB problem. We need to sign another guy. At this point right now, there are still veterans on there, so I'm not going to panic, right? There's still other guys on the board. Gilmore's still there. Xavier Howard's still there. Steven Nelson is still there. I'm not a big fan, right? But Adoree Jackson is still there. Although I'm going to keep away from that. I'm not a big fan of Adoree Jackson. So I'll go ahead and keep that off the board. But regardless of it, these are guys that are still on the board. Not only do I think we need another guy as far just for the talent factor, but just for the factor of what I just stated, right? The room is young. The room is young as shit, right? Okay. And then right now, as it stands, it's spearheaded by somebody who I've all talent in the world, but keeping 100 on this motherfucker. It's spearheaded by a hothead motherfucker, right? In Jack Jones. It is. Right? Let's be real. He's top dog in that room right now as far as DB goes. So as far as DBs go, you live with that, right? You take it for what it is, but it's spearheaded by a high-head motherfucker. I would like some more veteran guys in that building, right? That's just me. And that's not saying it's a bad thing as far as Jack Jones. I'm not saying that shit's a bad thing. All I'm saying is there's goods and there's bads to that. At the end of the day, I'd like a little bit more of that veteran presence in there to calm it down sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? Mellow it out, right? So now if shit starts spiraling out of control, we got that guy to be like, chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? We're good, right? Either emotions, wins, losses, regardless of it, I would like that guy in the room. So that is my 2 cents, right? I think the Raiders do have a DB problem, but can it be fixed? Easily. With 1 signing, we're straight. 1 trade, we're straight, right? But I'm not gonna hold my breath on no trade, right? I'm not gonna do that. What I'm going. You got to eat the food that's in front of you, right? You got to eat the food that's on your plate. So I'd say you got to go with who's available, who's free, and the guys that are free are not bad options, right? They're not fucking bad options at the end of the day. So I think these are guys that the Raiders probably need to target. Talk about veterans, right? We already named those. Can you trade for somebody? Of course, right? I heard some rumblings of Greg Newsome. Early on, I heard some shit about Marshawn Lattimore not too long ago, right? And that interesting, right? Capital is going to be needed. You hear Jair Alexander, capital is going to be needed. So once again, like I said, you got to eat the food on your plate. So let me know how y'all feel, right? I think that I think we got a DB problem, but I want to hear about y'all, right? I want to hear what y'all feel. Do y'all feel like this is a huge problem? Feel like the Raiders are kind of ignoring this glaring problem, or do you think that this is something that we can go into the season, and if this was the guys, if this was the roster standing, we can live with it? How y'all feel? Y'all let me know down below, man. So as we look, in facts, Myra, the schedule does come out in a week. Can't wait for that. And if I'm not mistaken, it come out on a Wednesday. So y'all, pull back up, bro. You know what time it is. I think I'm gonna have the syndicate with you boys. So it's gonna be a real special, man. We're gonna get it in next week. But let's see. As we go, I want to see what you guys talking about as far as this DB problem we got that I feel we got. But first and foremost, salute to my guy Chris, man, in the building. I'm glad you can make it for sure. And I'm gonna talk about this a little later too. I'm gonna talk about that a little later too. But okay, OJ says it's Bennett's season, right? It's Bennett's season. Okay, right? And like I said, majority of people I've talked to, Meek is the expectation. But if he's the starting number 2 corner, that shit ain't good enough. That's just on me. That shit ain't good enough. But y'all let me know. Y'all stay asleep. Hey, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm asleep on that one. I'm asleep. I took my melatonin on that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, if he proves me wrong once again, ain't no problem to wake it up. It's fine. I hope he does. Bennett going to be better this year. Higher standards. Okay. Interesting. I like that angle. Chris says Bennett needed a year to improve. Yeah. So would you think that him being out, learning, not being on the field helped him? Is that what you say? So if that's the case, then maybe we can see a better guy because he was able to sit, learn, get the speed of the game together. So maybe so. I can see that. Ben says he had his flashes. He did. He did. And you know, I say it all the time, right? As a corner, once you get behind in the game, right? Like once you're behind on the speed of the game, it's hard to catch back up to that shit, bro. It's hard. It's hard. Too many good receivers, too many good schemes. Like it's just too hard and difficult if you're behind to catch yourself back up to the speed in which people are playing in the NFL. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's too difficult. So at the end of the day, I think like some of that, he has some of that shit right there going against him in that favor. I do agree, right? But there were some things that he did get some BS calls, but you know, the calls did come in plenty, in abundance, right? Those calls came in abundance. So it's another thing. Gotta get good with his hands, right? Gotta get good with that technique. Can't rely on that speed. Gotta get good and better in that transition out the back pedal. But if he can do that, I think he's got the tools, bro. He's got the physical tools. But then at the end of the day, like it's sitting, you draft a guy with those same tools, but just bigger, right? In Richardson. So there's competition, bro. Be not fooled, right? Be not fooled. Don't be fooled. Be not fooled. I'm over here speaking in fucking Wizard of Oz language. But at the end of the day, right? Don't be fooled by, oh, he's a second-year player and all that. Fuck that, right? He's a fourth-round dude. Richardson is a fourth-round dude. That shit's even playing field to me, right? And then you draft a guy that even has better measurables, same speed, right? So it's like you can't say like, oh, Bennett is faster. Like that shit don't work in that argument. So at the end of the day, it's like he's bigger, same speed. So it's like whoever plays better they're an even playing field right now to me. He don't have no leg up for shit, right? He don't. Now, maybe if you want to say of the mental aspect of knowing the system, sure. But then you don't know how Richardson learns, right? You don't know how Richardson learns. Maybe that motherfucker smart as shit. He might be, right? Probably is, or he wouldn't be in the position he is. So if he's smart and can pick up the system, that shit really don't apply either there. And be realistic, bro. He's a corner. What the fuck is he picking up for real? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and this is going to contradict my boy Turf. This is going to contradict my guy Turf. But I'm going to have to say it. And I love Turf. If you're watching, Big Unk, you know what time it is, man. You know it's all love. But I'm going to be honest, bro. He thinks he can't learn the system. I don't fully agree with that. Honestly, bro, anybody that's been around ball long enough, played football long enough, right? Fan, player, regardless of it, if you're a corner, bro, be real. How much do you really have to fucking learn, right? Like, let's be honest with ourselves here, okay? If you're a corner, all you really got to learn is what we're changing to, bro. Okay, cool. I'm playing zone. Cool. What zone am I playing? Cool. I'm playing man. If we're playing man, don't tell me shit. At the end of the day, here we are. But if we're playing zone, it is what it is. Which zone am I playing? Deep third? Am I playing down here at the cover 2? Am I playing this mid right here? We're like, well, what are we doing? Cover 4 at the regardless of it, right? It's not that hard to fucking figure out, bro. It's really not. It's really not fucking all that complicated, right? It's not the Pythagorean theorem we're talking about here. So how difficult will it be for a rookie to come in and learn some shit? Not that hard. It's not gonna be that hard, right? Unless he's like, right. Unless he a couple slices short of a loaf of bread. But at the end of the day, like I don't think it's gonna be that hard, right? So, just my opinion. It's all level playing field right now, and with Jacorian, he gonna have to show some shit, bro. It ain't no fucking staying out in preseason this year. That shit is over with. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the next thing. I don't know what the fuck the coaching staff was doing last year. I don't give a fuck how good he was playing in training camp and all that other shit. Preseason for a rookie is mandatory. Mandatory, right? Unless you're like the greatest thing I've ever seen touch grass, bro. But even then, it's like preseason for a rookie should be fucking mandatory, bro. This man needs to catch up to the speed. The fact he was not playing in preseason games, one, I think fucked up the growth, and two, made expectations balloon to a point where, like, we're sitting here, well, like, this motherfucker don't need to play preseason. Well, shit, okay, cool. Think about this, bro. Even Michael Mayer played fucking preseason. Even Michael Mayer played. He was a second-round fucking pick. So what in the fuck are we sitting here not playing Jacorian Bennett for in the preseason, right? And don't even get me wrong. This is not slander, but this is just me keeping it real. That was bullshit, right? That was bullshit. So another one of that, right? That haltered and kind of fucked up perception on Jacorian Bennett. But that's just my 2 cents, right? That's my 2 cents right there. But let me go ahead and go down. Let me see what y'all talking about. I'm over here yapping, not getting to the comments, man. But I appreciate everybody that's in the building. Not consistent. Talking about Amik. Amik was average. We can love Amik, but we can tell the truth at the same time. We can tell the truth. He was average. He was average. And then everybody that's going to come on here and be like, oh, Amik was this, Amik was that. Okay. Then tell me why the fuck the Lions drafted 2 corners this year. That's all the fuck I want to know, right? People be arguing that, but the Lions still drafted 2 corners. He's okay. But you understand, right, with a guy like that, he gives you the effort, but you can understand you can still get better, right, from that. You can definitely still get better. So that's where I'm at right there. Ben says Richardson has potential. I've watched a little more of Richardson. I was down on it when they selected him. I'm not going to say I'm fully invested and bought in, but I'm a little more sold than I was before. He does have good traits. When he's on, he's on. Has some very, very rough games. But when you talk about, like, you know, some of what he does, like the natural shit he does, like it's hard to teach. So it's like, okay, understand. You understand. So more sold on it, but not all the way, right? I'm not all the way sold. I still have my reservations about that one. Yes, Xavier Howard would be beautiful. I like that. I do like that. From a talent standpoint, I like that shit. Now, when I talk about leadership, different, right? Because now you got to factor that shit in. Because I did sit here and talk about we need some leadership in there. We do. So we'll see. Chris says Amik was a dog, but was a liability on big wide receivers. Correct. And you're not lying on there, man. I mean, every time we go against a big wide receiver, we got to sit here and fucking worry. I don't like that. Amik was in no way anything other than slightly above cheeks. His inconsistency was nasty work. I wholeheartedly agree on that one. I like that. My guy Turf in the building. He was in the building. I know. He was in here. He probably didn't see what I already said, man. Let me go ahead and scroll down and see what these motherfuckers talking about right here, man. Turf, look, and already, right? Turf says, I do not think Bennett will be a starter, though. Maybe a few more years before he's gone. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I think we will be fine with the D-line in place. And see, this is the thing, right? I understand that, but this is where I always say that it's a fickle game, bro. This fickle game we playing because you don't know how this shit gonna go. We don't know how this shit is going to go, right? Now, yes, I believe that this defense is going to be legit, but there's going to be some days, some games where this D-line might not be getting the exact pressure that we want. There's going to be some fucking games where we wholeheartedly know we're going to be playing against some real quarterbacks where sometimes the pressure ain't going to matter. So do I have faith in Jacorian Bennett in those moments? Not really. I'm not gonna lie, not really. But we'll see. I don't have faith in a lot of the room. Other than Jack Jones, I'm pretty nervous. I'm sweating. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see. Ben says, I think they will only get better because some were in their first year under the Patrick Graham system. Agreed. See, another guy hearing that Mississippi State corner is going to be elite. Now, Richardson, he has some faults, and but if he cleans the shit up, like I said, right? Him and Bennett are on even playing field right now. And then if you really talk about if Richardson cleans up what he has to clean up, you're talking about a dude who's 6'2" that can run a 4.3. Probably gonna take that one over Jacorian Bennett, right? Like that's just, Turf says Bennett ain't it, and Turf ain't a Bennett guy, not me either. But and that's why I say we got a problem. We'll see. This room is definitely crazy, but at the end of the day, I still think we need to fuck around and add one, man. We need to add one. And see, this is where Turf says the main problem is he doesn't have the instincts. Along with the lack of football IQ, he's doomed. Now, I'll agree with you, Turf, on the instincts. I think the instincts are where he was getting spotty. Now, this is where you have to give a player time to grow. Shout out to my guy, Chris. Shout out to my guy, Leo from TRS, right? This is where you give him time to grow. You got to see if last year he was hesitant and didn't have those instincts because his ass was thinking, right? Or he just really does not have that ability. That's two different things, right? So if this year he can show, right, last year I was just thinking, overthinking, playing hesitant, double think, regardless of it, right? Second guessing himself. And if that's the case, right, then we can forgive all the past transgressions. But if the same problems and inconsistency show up this year, then well, shit, we're gonna have to sit here and say, well, that's just him, right? Like just him as a player. So that's where I'd be at right there. JC Jackson is broken goods. Yeah, I wouldn't go with no JC Jackson. Definitely not. Definitely not no JC Jackson. I'll bring in Stephon Gilmore before I did that. Definitely I would make some moves, man. But yeah, I think my guy did say slightly above cheeks. That shit was funny. And as soon as I say something about my guy Leo, what's the deal, man? Glad you can make it in here, man. Glad you can make it. So as we're talking, right? Wait, this shit just threw me all the way off track. Said he give my man the dunce cap. That shit just threw me all the way off track right there, bro. So as we looking, right, as we continue, make sure you guys hitting the like button. But yeah, I think the Raiders do have a little bit of a DB problem, but regardless of it, ain't nothing that can't be fixed with just one signing. You know what I mean? With just one signing, we'll fuck around and fix that problem easy. So once again, make sure you guys are hitting that like, hitting that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. As we get to more of that Raider news, right? We go ahead and we're going to go ahead and talk about something that's probably going to apply to y'all with that cheddar, right? Apply to y'all with that chip. But at the end of the day, something that we got to talk about with the team, right? And that is the Raiders are now moving their training camp, right? They're going to be moving to Costa Mesa for their training camp this year. 1 year deal with the complex, 1 year deal with the city. That they're going to be going ahead and moving over there to Costa Mesa. I think good move, number one, going back to Cali, right? Getting those vibes back. Always going to be good for the season, right? You're going to be good to get the Cali air in you, right? You know what I mean? Like, we got to go ahead and go back to Cali, right? Go back to the roots, right? Train at the roots and get ready to kick somebody's ass, bro. Like, you know how this reminds me, right? And I'm going to take you through it. This reminds me of like a kung fu master having to go back to his roots. You feel what I'm saying? Having to go back to the dojo, right? Where his guy was there, his sensei is there, and he got to go back to train, right? He going back to train. Why is he training? Because he has to whoop somebody's ass. This is how this picture is formed to me. So we got to go back to Cali, right? Get back to the roots and get to it. But I think it's number one is good for that. Number two, right? It might not be so fucking hot. That's the next thing, right? Because they over there training in Vegas, and yeah, the heat probably builds some strength. But at the end of the day, well, shit, they play inside, motherfuckers. So it's like, even if it's just like 5 degrees, 10 degrees cooler in them fucking pads and helmets, bro, like that's all the difference in the world. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so just 5-10 degrees cooler would make all the difference for guys training, right? Their conditioning levels, all the other shit. It's just gonna help. It's gonna help. I think so. But them moving there, I think it'd be cool. I know some of y'all got that bread y'all gonna be spending to go up there and see them in person, right? I know y'all gonna be going over there. So at the end of the day, right, you know what you got to do? You got to take pictures, right? You got to take pictures. You got to fuck around, get some autographs, right? That should be straight. This is where I wish I was back at the crib, right? I wish I was back in Cali, getting some of that Cali air, Cali sunshine, man, and then going over there to see them over there in training camp, man. So this is going to be a cool experience for people, man. So if y'all go ahead and go up there. Make sure you give a shout out to the rundown for your boy and take some pictures. I want to fuck around and feature some like fan segment pictures and shit on here, right? So that's something I'm thinking about doing. So if y'all go up to training camp, send your boy some of that, man. I'll feature that, man. Shout out your Instagrams, all that other shit. That should be pretty fire, man. So Frank, what's the deal, man? Glad you can make it in the building. Glad you can make it for sure. My man said hose water is the best drink. He's not fucking lying. Not lying. I don't know what was in that shit, dirt, metal, whatever it was, boy, but that shit was hitting back in the day. You feel what I'm saying? Definitely hitting. Leo says, Raiders back in Southern Cali. For sure, man. You know, we got to get, we going back to the roots. You feel what I'm saying? We got to go back to LA. We ain't touched the bay, but it's all good, man. Still going back to the roots. Still good. My guy Frank says he gonna be there. Nah, I ain't gonna be there, man. I gotta save that chip for the regular games, right? I gotta save my chip for the regular games, which kind of pissed they moved the damn schedule, right? Schedule release till next week. I wanted to see what we was gonna do, but regardless, right? The anticipation builds. But yeah, I gotta save my chip for the regular season games, and especially that New Orleans game. Everybody knows that's the one I'm gonna be at. All right. If you want to catch your boy Rundown, regardless what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be out and about at that motherfucking New Orleans game. Guaranteed. I'm going to be acting a fool at that game. I can't wait. Let's see. Boom. My guy Dixon says I watched that movie. What is going on right here with this? My guy Dixon Sider says I watched that movie. First of all, bro, I got to be honest with you. Your fucking picture is alone to get you banned from here. If you know, you know. This picture he has on here is enough to get this man banned. But at the end of the day, bro, we'll spare you. But you got a whole no Diddy tag on your whole shit right now, my guy Dixon. But I fucks with it, though. You do what you got to do, right? Do what you got to do. Wax on, wax off, Raiders. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling right here. That's definitely how I'm feeling. My guy, my girl, oh my God, I said, oh shit, I'm over here fucking up. My girl Myra says, right, the Bay got fucked over. They should have considered the motherland first if they were coming back to Cali for TC. Don't find me. Nah, I'm with Leo because I'm a Southern Cali dude my damn self, man. They got to go back to LA and get the roots, right? We got to go over there, man. We got to LA. And first of all, right, where are they even going to practice in Oakland at right now? Y'all, I just need to know that. Where are they going to go? That's all I need to know. But, right? If you know, you know, man. If you know, you know. But yeah, man. If you didn't know, now you know, right? Costa Mesa, the Raiders will be there. The Ford training camp this year. What is the date? Is it when does it start? It starts in July or start next month. Training camp start next month in June. I gotta think. But at the end of the day, starting somewhere June, July, one of those damn months. But I'll get the important dates for y'all. But at least y'all know it's Costa Mesa, right? And y'all will, if y'all gonna be there, make sure y'all take some pictures, man. Get some autographs for your boy Rundown. But that's that right there. So we go on to our next piece of information, and this motherfucker right here is gonna be a real conversation starter because I believe that the Raiders made the right decision. But I want to hear from you guys, right? So the talk was that the Raiders had a coin flip between Brock Bowers and Terrion Arnold for that 13th overall pick. This is what Champ Kelly is saying, right? What they're asking Champ Kelly, this is what Antonio Pierce said. He said something about that, right? So at the end of the day, as y'all can see right here, Kelly don't want to confirm nor deny. But if that was the case, I want to, first of all, hear from y'all. How do y'all feel about the Raiders choosing Brock Bowers over Terrion Arnold? If that was the case, it was a coin flip. Thank God for the coin. Right? Thank God for the coin. I personally, if that was the decision between those two, I'm fine with the decision. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm fine with the decision. I know I just sat here and said we have a DB problem, but if y'all watched me during draft season, I continuously said I do not want no corner at 13. I didn't want a corner at 13. Stuck true, right? Boom. We went ahead, got Brock Bowers. And I think having Brock is going to long-term be more of a viable solution for one, our red zone woes, right? And just in our ability to move the ball downfield easily, right? I think this guy, as the years progress, as we look at things, I think he's going to be a guy we look back and say, well, I'm glad we got this motherfucker right here. You know what I mean? So I 100% agree with that selection, right? That's just me. I approve 100% that I think the Raiders should have did what they did. But y'all let me know down below, right? Do you think it was a smart move for the Raiders to go Brock Bowers over Terrion Arnold? Let me see what some of my guys and girls are saying. Let me see. That's cap. Guarantee y'all that was double-sided coin. Brock Bowers was 100% they guy. Man, bro, I think that I definitely think that it was the 100% right pick. I don't think they were really flip-flopping at all because they're over there talking about, Antonio Pierce called. Terrion Arnold said it was a coin flip. I don't think he meant it was an actual coin flip, right? I don't think it was an actual coin flip. Definitely. Hey, man, you know we sitting here. Hey, Myra's in here wilding, but it's okay, man. You know how we do on the rundown, man. We also have connections in here, right? We also have connections. Oh, Leo definitely fills you in. They mid-July, end in August. That's when training camp starts for the Raiders, mid-July, and it ends in August. So make sure you guys mark it on your calendars. Right. So I think Bowers at 13 was the absolute best pick they could have had. Right. I think that was the best pick they could have had. I'm not mad at that shit whatsoever. I think him being like a top 5 offensive player alone, or not even offensive player, just player in general in the draft tells you all you need to know. I think it was the very absolute correct pick. Once again, I completely say I did not want no DB at 13. I didn't think none of those DB warranted being taken at 13. And if we be honest, when did the DBs even started getting taken? That's the next thing. I want to know when the DBs started to get taken, because it seems not everybody was convinced in that top 10, right? Not in that real top 12, 13 range. Not everybody was convinced there. So I'm 100% happy with what we got. Another thing, right? Happy that they didn't trade up for Michael Penix either. That's another thing I didn't want them to do, right? I think they did the smart thing, stood pat. So what can we expect going forward from that news? Nothing, right? But going forward from Brock Bowers, I am very, very intrigued to see how they use him. How is Luke Getsy going to use him? Y'all already know to end it here, right? That I think that Luke Getsy is the most important piece, right? I kind of know what Gardner Minshew is. I don't know what Aiden O'Connell is fully, but I know kind of his skill set. But at the end of the day, Luke Getsy, most important piece on this thing now. So to make it all go, he's the guy that's going to have to go ahead and, I'm not going to lie, he got to be on the shit. He gonna have to be on the shit. So we'll see how that goes right there. But as we coming up here on the top of the hour, man, y'all let me know down below how you feel about Brock Bowers, Terrion Arnold. Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up, right? We're coming up on the top of the hour. I want to hear from y'all, man. Could put some questions down here in the comments. What do y'all, what's some concerns y'all have, right? I want to know some concerns. What are some questions y'all still have about the roster? I have some questions as well, but what questions do y'all have? I want to hear from y'all. I want to see what y'all think. You know, if you guys are all the way sold on what we got going on. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm sold on the direction. Certain players I still have question marks on, right? Still have question marks on. But I want to hear from y'all. What question marks do y'all have? Let me see. DB was taken after picks 25. See, this is what I'm saying, right? DBs didn't get taken until pick 20, 25 and beyond, right? So everybody over here, we should get a DB at 13. We should get a DB at 13. Consensus, bro. They didn't even get picked until like the 20s. So it's like at that point, who cares, right? Why rush a pick? Why have to force a pick? Same thing my guy Dixon says. I would have took Penix at 13, but definitely not traded up for him, right? I even thought taking Penix at 13 was a reach. even at 13 was a fucking reach. But trading up for him, oh, bro, I would have lost my shit. I'd have lost my shit if they would have did that. But here we are. I still think we good, man. Still think we good. Myra says, who else is hanging with Leo and the super fans in Bakersfield this Saturday? That's a fact. My guy Leo will be in Bakersfield this Saturday. So make sure you guys pull up if you want to chill with him, talk some ball. I know he would. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Chris says, Getsy has the pieces, so there's no excuses. I completely agree. He has all the pieces in the world. He's the motherfucker that's going to make it go. I think he's the guy that's going to have to make it go. No excuses whatsoever from Luke Getsy. I don't want to hear none, right? QB and cornerback, I'm concerned. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with y'all, bro. I don't have that worriedness of quarterback like a lot of people do, right? I'm not really worried about quarterback. I'm not going to say, like, I think we're going to be like, oh, my God, top 10 quarterback, but I'm not like, I don't think it's going to be like last year. And that's where I think a lot of people are scarred. I don't think the quarterback shit is going to be like last year. I still think, we're going to have a pretty good season. I still think we're going to have a pretty good season coming up. I don't think it's going to be the greatest quarterback play we've ever seen. It's not going to be Rich Gannon. I'm not expecting that. But I'm expecting better than last year, at least, for sure. Mid-pack. I expect a little mid-pack, somewhere around mid-teens. I expect quarterback play to be mid-teens, right? Like 16, 15, shit like that. 17, 16. I say 17, 16. Do you think Jacorian Bennett will take a step and be cornerback too? If you hold my feet to the fire right now, no. I don't. If you hold my feet to the fire right now, I would tell you no, Matt. That's just me. But if he can prove me wrong, I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it. Quinyon Mitchell, first DB pick at 22. I appreciate that, Sal. And once again, all of us that sat here and said we didn't want no DB, we're vindicated, right? Well, until they get on the field, but vindicated to the point of saying, like, he didn't go until 22. So it's like, why pick it at 13, bro? Your boy didn't even go until many picks after that. So, you feel me? Let's say. Myra, will Kuntz stay consistent this year? This is a great question. What is consistent? If I can get 8 to 10 sacks from him, I'm good. And I'm not gonna lie, I need that. I need 8 to 10 sacks, right? And this is the next thing. I'm half and half on this shit. I'm half and half. I think he can play to that level that he was playing last year. I think he can do that. For a full 16 game stretch is where you get me, because I've never seen him play that full 16 game stretch. This is the first time last year I've even seen real work. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I've continuously said we probably need another edge just in case. I have faith. I do. So I'm going to, feet to the fire, I think he can do it. I think Kuntz can be consistent, pick up where he left off, do his thing. I think he has the tools to be able to do that. But I also will say, devil's advocate, just in case we need to sign another edge, whatever reason, right? We need to sign another guy. But that's just me. Leo says, my concern or question is the OC. How will the offense look with Getsy? 100% my question, and we'll see. But that's 100% my question, and I want to see that too. Kuntz wants the bag. He will play his ass off this season. That's another thing. He does want the bag. But that's another reason why I say we got to get another dude, because he's going to want some real chip. Now, how much? We'll see. But that's we'll see about that. OJ says, major question in our linebacker room. Diablo can't stay healthy. Masterson and Bernie and new kid. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Y'all know me, right? I ain't no Diablo fan. I'm not a super Diablo fan. Masterson I like. I like Masterson, but Masterson has had a tendency to get nicked and banged up as well. Miss some time. I'm not a Bernie fan. I do not like Bernie. So if you want to look at it like that, you can have a major question mark. Me, I am a fan of Tommy Eichenberg, though. I like Tommy. I like Tommy Guns. I like that right there. You feel what I'm saying? I think he can be straight. He got the instincts, and like I said, he's a football player, bro. Like he ain't gonna look at no measurables and shit and be like, oh, he runs this, he jumps this, he does. You're not gonna look at that. He's just a football player, bro. He has instincts. So I like Tommy. You feel what I'm saying? I think he can be a guy that, if given time, right, can sneak his way and find some rotational minutes. I think he can find some rotational minutes. But that's if guys start dropping like flies, which they've known to do. Diablo, Masterson has missed time. He can start seeing the field. And I think if he sees the field, he'll get more and more time. That's how I feel like he's going to be on. So that's how I feel it's going to be. Do you think we get a vet cornerback in free agency? 100% I do. 100%. I still think it comes. If they don't, I have major question marks about how we're going to go into the season. But I 100% think they're going to go and get a vet in free agency. I do. Myra, word on the streets is we're a top 10 defense. They're saying top 8. Top 8. Right? Where they're saying we're number 8 right now in the rankings. So can we live up to that? But you know me. Fuck that. I want to exceed that. I don't want 8. I want top 5. I want top 5. That's what I want. And y'all already know my 4-letter word when the season comes. I was saying it all last year. If you're new to the channel, this is my 4-letter word, and it comes every season. More. M-O-R-E, more, bro. I don't give a fuck how many sacks, how many tackles, I don't give a fuck how many touchdowns, catches, whatever the fuck they got. If there's more games to be played, there's still more to be done. You feel what I'm saying? Still more to be done. Word on the streets is they bringing back Unique. How we feel about that? I love it. I would fucking love that. Why? Because we're not needing this man to play the run and do all this extra shit. Like, nah, bro. Just rush the passer, which is something that he excels at doing, right? When you ask Unique to start doing all this extracurricular activity, you talk about, oh, you got to stop the run and you got to start holding the gap and doing all this other shit. Like, nah, no, rush the passer. And if we can get him and he can just do that, oh, I like that. I like that. Definitely. SoCal says, will Tyree step up? Will he play DN or DT? Answer to the first question. I've always been a Tyree supporter, even when my guys in TRS was telling me that it's a lost cause. Yes, he's going to step up. I believe so. 2, answer that question. Both. I do not think he's going to play one or the other. I do think what we saw from him last year, he's going to consistently be doing. I don't think they're going to sit there and say like, oh, no, fuck that. We're going to play him on the edge now. Nah, bro. He's going to be playing both. He's going to be a DT and an edge. He's going to be a tweener. I think that's how you use it, right? Let me see. At linebacker, Tommy Guns. I like that one. Run down. Iceberg, Eichenberg. I like that shit too. Yeah. I'm a right. Yeah, we got right there. That boy got some names, man. He already got some goddamn cool nicknames. I hope he's going to be straight, right? I hope he's going to be straight. But once again, that has been another episode of the Raider Rundown. Make sure you guys are tapping on the thumbs up button. I was going to say thumbs down. Oh, shit. Don't tap on the thumbs down now. Don't do that shit. But definitely, right? Appreciate everybody that's here. Tap on that thumbs up button. Tap on the subscribe button if you really like what you're hearing. Y'all already know what time it is, right? If you're new, your boy Rundown is live at 5 every Wednesday, live at 5 p.m. Eastern. That is what, 2 p.m. for my guys on the West Coast, right? So live at 5 on the East Coast, live at 2 on the West Coast. So make sure you guys pull up next week. It's going to be the scheduled release. So you know we're going to do something special, right? For the scheduled release, right? We got a little giveaway that we're going to be doing next week. So stay tuned. Stay on my social medias if you want that, because I'm going to be releasing a little raffle. And we're going to see who wins the giveaway. All right, we got something that we're going to be giving away, some TRS merch, right? Some cool shit like that. My boy Leo in the chat. Salute to him, man. Handling all that TRS merch business. And speaking of Leo, before I get out of here, I know y'all see it. I got to flex on y'all motherfuckers right now. What Kendra say? Sometimes you got to pop out and show them, right? You feel me? Who got the black on black Cliff Branch? I don't think none of y'all got the black on black, right? The Cliff. Y'all ain't on that, right? With the black on black. You know I got a stun on him one time. So shout out to my guy Leo, man, for giving me that black on black 2-1, man. salute to my guy, man. Appreciate that. And y'all know what it is, man. Make sure y'all hitting them buttons. And I'm gonna see y'all next time. Y'all know what your ball. We can't end like that. Rewind. See y'all next time. Y'all know what y'all boys say every Wednesday, man. We keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground here on the Raider Rundown. Y'all have a good one.